Hi, and welcome back. Okay, so last week we were talking about Joseph and how he left his family. He got successful. He ended up in prison, and then he went to second in command in the kingdom. Notice that wasn't all pleasant. He had to fight through some stuff. He had to believe that God was true to his word. He had to have trust and faith and confidence in God. Somehow, through all his adversity, his faith grew. It didn't get worse, or it didn't go away. This is what I want to learn from Joseph. I want my life to be the same. So let's go ahead and take up where he is in control. He's in charge, and he does a very good job, because if you read the rest of the story, which I won't be able to do today, you will see that he took them all the way through the famine successfully. So he was very good at what he did. So that's another thing. We want to be the best we can at whatever we do. So let's go ahead and start where we're going to fast forward to where the famine starts. And we are now going back to Dad and the brothers. Okay. Dad hears about grain in Egypt. Let's go ahead and read. Now, when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do ye look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy us from thence, that we may live and not die. Okay, so he sends his boys to go get food. So Joseph sees them. They don't know who he is, but he knows who they are. Let's continue reading. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them, and said unto them, Whence came ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, and they knew him not. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he had dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies. To see the nakedness of the land are you come? So I have a question that you can't answer right now, but you can in the comments below. Was he trying to get even with them? I don't believe so. If we follow through, which we're going to in just a few minutes, we're going to read what actually happens. I believe he was trying to get information about his younger brother and his father. Let's go ahead and continue reading. Bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, do not sin against the child, and you would not hear? Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself from them, and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simeon, and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money to his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. So we see he even got emotional. He realizes now that God was true, and the dreams were from God, and because they were being fulfilled right now. So let's continue to read so we get more understanding. And they came unto Jacob their father in the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell them, saying, The man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, We are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that you are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households and be gone, and bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that you are no spies, but that ye are true men. So I will deliver to you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and you will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, and I will if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in which you go, then shall you bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. So Jacob is not willing to let his son go, so they have to get pretty hungry. And then he finally agrees. So we're going to go ahead and continue reading. And the famine was sore in the land, and it came to pass, when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. And Judah spake unto him, saying, The man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Israel said, Wherefore dealt you so ill with me, as to tell the man whether you had yet a brother? And they said, The man asked us straitly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have you yet another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down? And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, and that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little ones. And I will be surety for him, if my hand shalt thou require him. Of my hand shalt thou require him. If I bring him not unto thee, and set him before thee, then let me bear the blame forever. So Judah stands up and he says, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take responsibility for this, and I will get your son back to you. I don't think Judah even knew what he was in for, but let's go ahead and keep reading. This is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. It just is very touching. Let's go ahead and keep reading. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with him, he said to the ruler of the house, Bring these men home and slay and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first, we are brought in, that he may speak occasion against us and fall upon us and take us for bondmen and our asses. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house and said, O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass, when we came to the end, that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of the sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. Okay, so they're starting to feel the weight of the sin that they have caused in the past to their brother. For some reason, that is weighing on them. We're not reading all of the scripture, so I'm kind of trying to help you. But if you ever want to, you could go to Word of Promise. This is a beautiful story. You might even cry. It always makes me cry, this story, because it's so emotional. So what happens here is they dine with Joseph, and Benjamin gets more than the other boys. And at one point, Joseph has to go and cry again. And then he comes back out and he plays the hardball. And he actually tricks his brother. He puts his chalice in his younger brother's sack because he wants to keep his brother. Well, they get caught on the road going home with all of this, with the chalice and with all the grain and all their money. And so they are brought back to Joseph. And then there is a confrontation where Joseph says, just leave him with me and the rest of you can go. And then Judah speaks up. So let's go ahead and read that. Then Judah came near unto him and said, O my Lord, let thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word in my Lord's ears. And let not thine anger burn against thy servant, for thou art even as Pharaoh. My Lord asked his servant, saying, have ye a father or a brother? And we said unto my Lord, we have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one. And his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loveth him. And thou saidst unto thy servants, bring him down unto me, that I may set mine eyes upon him. And we said unto thy Lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. And thou saidst unto thy servants, except your youngest brother come down with you, you shall not see my face no more. You shall see my face no more. And it came to pass when we came up unto thy servant, my father, we told him the words of my Lord. And our father said, go again and buy us a little food. And we said, we cannot go down if our youngest brother be with us. Then we will go down, for we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother be with us. And thy servant, my father, said unto us, you know that my wife bare me 2 sons. And the one went out from me, and I said, surely he is torn in pieces. And I saw him not since. And if you take this also from me, and mischief befall him, ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. Now therefore, when I come to thy servant, my father, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life, it shall come to pass when he seeth that the lad is not with us, that he will die. And thy servant shall bring down the gray hairs of thy servant our father with sorrow to the grave. For thy servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame. If I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever. Now therefore I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my Lord, and let the lad go with his brethren. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me, lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father? This is an emotional story to me because it's bound by love. Joseph loves his father. His father thinks he's dead. But there's going to be joy. Weeping endureth for a night, but joy cometh in the morning in this story. Because finally they get reunited. It's sad that they were separated. But what God meant for evil, what the devil meant for evil, God brings good. So basically that's the story here. But let's go ahead and read a little bit more. Then Joseph could not refrain himself from all of them that stood by. And he cried, because he caused every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, And the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold in Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that you sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life. This is the kind of attitude we need to display and have in troubled times. It always wins. So the rest of the story, you can read it later. I'm not going to go ahead and read it now, but the rest of the story, they get reunited. They end up back in Egypt. The Pharaoh hears that his brethren are here, and he gives them the best land. So next time we're going to talk about what happens. They come, I believe it was like 75 to 80 souls that they come, and we're going to do that next time. And they grow to millions. They multiply. So we're going to pick up next week. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.